Welcome back, folks. Here it is, Tuesday night once again, and we are ready to make a cocktail. Boy, on the East Coast, and I imagine on the rest of the country too, it is bitter cold outside. We have a lot of snow on the ground, and so I found myself the other day sipping some scotch, thinking to myself, you know, I really like this, but I wish it were more accessible. I wish there was a way to make it better. And I'm thinking of the people who don't necessarily love scotch. You like it, you like that flavor, but you know, is there a way to soften it? And I have an answer to that question here, and that is with the amaretto. And of course, this is here, I got scotch, I got amaretto. It's a 2-ingredient cocktail. We're making a Godfather cocktail. This is a 70s cocktail. It's a retro cocktail for us now. And so it's a great thing to make at home. It's easy. You don't have to go to the store and get lemons or some other citrus or other ingredients. This could be stuff you just have on hand, so it's easy to make. Like I said, then I've also got a pro tip for you here too on how to balance this cocktail. And while we're talking about retro, I've got my vinyl here. I've got The Strokes, which is a vinyl record from the 70s. That's what we're playing here on the club tonight. Remember, Tuesday Night Cocktail Club meets every week for cocktails and good company. Inspired by the Pro Bar, built for your home bar, no paywall, no Patreon, just good drinks every Tuesday. So I've got my 2-ingredient cocktail here for you, invented in the 70s during all the excitement surrounding the Godfather movie. I mean, there was also more recently, you know, excitement about The Sopranos, and both of those really have the same idea, which is, you know, you had a Don who's Italian American, and so he's a big shot. So what does he drink? Well, he's a big shot, so he must drink scotch. But he's an Italian American big shot, so maybe he adds some amaretto to it. And I think that's basically the idea of the cocktail. In the 70s, Di Serrano, which is the bottler of Di Serrano, which is a famous amaretto, probably came up with this idea. And according to the legend, I don't know if this is marketing or any truth, but Marlon Brando apparently allegedly likes this cocktail. No one really knows who first came up with it. Maybe some marketing genius at the people who make Di Serrano came up with it, or some bartender. Regardless, it's a very good smoky, sweet cocktail. And the sweetness really can depend on how much amaretto you put in it. You can make it a little stiffer if you want just a hint of the amaretto, or you could really, you know, make it a 50-50. But either way, it's a delicious drink. And so just a note here quickly on the amaretto, I don't use the Di Serrano. I'm using this brand. I feel like the Di Serrano might be a little too sweet. I don't know, maybe people have had experience with that. Leave a comment if you have, but I'm using a different brand. And amaretto too has an old story and invented in Italy. Amaro, like we've said in the past, amaro means bitter in Italian, so amaretto is little bitter. So the amaretto really should be a little bitter. I find the other ones, some of the commercial ones, are really too much of the almond flavor is lost among the sweetness. And so that's what I'm using. And it really does call for blended scotch. I'm using this John Barr, which I recently got, but Famous Grouse is another one that's a good mixing scotch. Both give you that bite of scotch, but without the bite of the price, because both are about $30 a bottle for the 175 handle. A lot of people here on cocktail channels use monkey shoulder. I think monkey shoulder is a little expensive to mix with, especially when there are some really good options out there that are at a lower price point. And so that's what I use. And then, so here we go. We're going to go into the build here. And let me just say, I build this in the mixing tin. My mixing tin is glass, but I use a mixing tin rather than making it straight in the glass. I think you probably could do both, but I really think with the Angostura bitters, it just mixes better if you make it in a mixing vessel. So it's 2 dashes of the Angostura, and then it's 2 ounces of Scotch, and then it's half an ounce of the amaretto, And then you give it a good stir here. And then I have a big rock here in my mixing vessel, and straight into that it goes. You could do a garnish with an orange peel, but I think it works just as well like this. So let me give it a taste. So you've got so it's really good. You've really got the smoky, peaty flavors of the Scotch, combining with the sweet almond flavors of the Amaretto. And it's very unique. I mean, it's a sweet, it's like a cherry smokiness, so like a cherry campfire flavor. It's really a great drink. I have the big cube in here, and for me, for my palate, I would actually like another half an ounce of the Scotch, just to make it a little more boozy. And to me, that really, warrants the big cube. I maybe would just do it straight up without the cube if I was doing the original recipe. And that's my pro tip. Balance this for your friends. I mean, some people like it sweet, some people don't. People's palates. They'll tell you. I mean, if it's if you make it for somebody and they say, it's too dry or it's too sweet, you can give yourself another half an ounce of either the Amaretto or the Scotch, just to kind of get it right for that person. I think my point is, mix for the person, not for the recipe. And so feel free to adjust these for yourselves or for your friends' palates. And there you have it for Tuesday Night Cocktail Club. Next week I think we will probably do something with gin. I love gin in the wintertime. I love a martini in the wintertime. Probably not a straight martini, probably something that's a little bit of a variant. And so I'll see how that evolves. So that's the cocktail, and that's the cocktail for next week. For this week at the club here, we're listening to Is That It? Is This It? The Strokes. This is their first album. Boy, I love this album. Both the cocktail have a 70s retro feel to it. This album has a 70s retro feel to it, so they kind of go hand in hand. And there you have it for Tuesday Night Cocktail Club. Thanks for hanging out with us. Remember, this is the club with no paywall, no dues, no Patreon. So, subscribe and join us every week. And so thanks again for hanging out, and we'll see you next week.